everybody for coming out. My name's Kurt Wright, and I'm from Don't Boo Please, but I'm from Burlington. So they booed anyway. First of all, as a member of the legislature, the first thing I want to say is we face super majorities in the legislature of Democrats and liberals, and so just to give you a little scary proposition, it's more important than ever that we elect Brian Dubie, because we can't take any chances that Peter Shumlin or Doug Racine is the next governor with those super majorities. So we need Brian Dubie as governor.
Absolutely.
And before I introduce Brian, just a couple things. I want everybody, a round of applause for Steve Adams. State rep, not running for election. Steve was one of the best representatives I ever served with, and was our leader for a couple of years too, and did a fantastic job. We're going to miss Steve. Also, Francis Reno, running for state senate out there. Round of applause. Meet him in the state senate, as well as John McCormick. So, Brian is going to need all your help. So hopefully those guys get elected. Now, in terms of Brian, let me just ask you a couple of questions before I introduce you, Brian. Who do you trust to cut taxes over the next 2 years?
Brian.
Not Peter Shumlin or Doug Racine. Who do you trust to get the job done in terms of making government smaller and cutting regulation and red tape? That, I think, is one of the keys of this election, is trust. Brian is either going to be running against Peter Shumlin or Doug Racine, and they're going to try to repackage themselves as something that they're not. They're going to be talking as if they're almost a Republican, fiscal conservative. But the idea is you can't trust them. You can trust Brian Dubie. Brian Dubie's theme is pure Vermont. And if somebody else said that, you might not believe it, but Brian Dubie and the Dubie family are pure Vermont. So it's my honor and privilege to announce to you and introduce to you the next governor of Vermont, Brian Dubie.
Well, thank you. It's so great to see you all here. It's such a special day. Before we get in Southworth and Stephen DeLucio this week, out of respect for them and their families and their service and their sacrifice, would you please join me in a moment of silence about their sacrifice and service? Thank you very much. Thanks for those who have served. If the sun is in your eye, please feel free to move. Maybe that's with your help. We're pretty close to going over 10,000 fans on Facebook. This is a big number. We've distributed 7,500 lawn signs, and with your help and 4,500 other Vermonters, we've raised over $1 million to make sure that our posse. The energy behind this campaign is truly amazing, and you and your fellow Vermonters are responding to our positive pro-jobs message. It has been my privilege as your Lieutenant Governor and as a candidate for Governor to go all over this state and meet with Vermonters. And each and every Vermonter, the Vermonters that I'm talking to everywhere I go across the state, I hear three major issues: jobs, jobs, and jobs. Vermonters also tell me they expect our elected leaders to work together to confront the challenges that we face as a state. I'm running for governor to make Vermont an even better place to live. I'm running for governor to cut your taxes. I'm running for governor to cut the red tape. I'm running for governor to get our economy back on track. And I'm sure you would agree with me and Vermonters, the best social program is a good job. Working together, we can create more jobs in our state. Working together, we can cut taxes so Vermonters can keep more of their hard-earned dollars. Some people ask me who my opponent might be. I say it doesn't really matter, because they're all on record for wanting to raise your taxes. When I listen to my opponents talk about more spending and higher more regulations, and when I review their anti-jobs voting record, I ask myself, where do they come up with these ideas? Vermonters are taxed out. We pay the highest property taxes in the country. Vermonters deserve a governor who will listen to their concerns. My campaign is about restoring jobs, getting our economy back on track. Higher taxes and oppressive regulatory environment have derailed growth in our state. I'm running for governor to get our economy moving forward. Working together, we can create a pro-jobs environment to move full steam ahead. And you should know there are major differences between my opponents and myself. My opponents have released their economic plans. They all propose new programs and new spending, meaning higher taxes on overtaxed Vermonters. That's not the way to grow jobs and to get our economy back on track. Peter Shumlin personally led the charge to override our governor's budget veto, raise $26 million in a recession, and those taxes hurt working Vermonters. Doug Racine voted against that budget because he didn't think it raised taxes enough. Last week, the National Federation of Independent Businesses, this is the association that speak on behalf of the small businesses of Vermont, released their legislative scorecard. The small businesses, ladies and gentlemen, the small businesses generate the jobs that working Vermonters need. They're the lifeblood of our economy. The National Federation of Business gave Peter Shumlin a 0 rating, meaning he voted against the interests of small businesses and job creators every chance he had. Doug Racine did a little better. He got an 11%. So I'm not sure who will end up being my opponent, but watch. They will reinvent themselves or try to reinvent themselves, telling you that they will work to help our small businesses and grow jobs. But the truth is that my opponents have a long history of voting against the interests of job creators and everyday Vermonters. And everyone here knows that actions speak much louder than words. As your Lieutenant Governor, I've spent my time working on behalf of job creators in our state. And as your next governor, I pledge to do everything I can to support Vermont's job creators. George Chandler, the founder of Hubbardton Forge in Castleton, Vermont, a special Vermonter, told me long ago, Brian, you can't be pro-employee if you're anti-employer. We're in this together. We need to work together to grow jobs for Vermonters who are looking for work. On Monday, I will release my 10-point jobs plan. It's called Pure Vermont, a blueprint for job growth and economic expansion. I look forward to sharing the details of that plan. It's a comprehensive plan that will describe in detail how we can hold spending to an affordable level, how we can work to cut our taxes, and how we can reform our burdensome permitting processes. We must give the workers of Vermont the tools they need to compete in a global marketplace. Tools like lower taxes, tools like reasonable regulations, world-class broadband and communication infrastructure. Only with a strong economy and good paying jobs can we afford to pay for the services that we value. A great education for our children, great schools, a clean environment, safe and secure neighborhoods by our fire and police services, support for our seniors and disabled, and for our most vulnerable. Together we can make Vermont the best place to earn a living, start a small business, raise a family, enjoy a secure retirement. And we'll continue to tell the world what makes Vermont such a special place. I'm so grateful for your assistance in this campaign to make Vermont a better state. It is so encouraging to see you here on a Saturday afternoon. Penny and I are so thankful. We look forward to getting on the track to victory in November. Thank you very much for coming today. Why am I not surprised? Why am I surprised? Still playing football. You playing a little bit? Yeah. I remember those days. Yeah, no. Do you which one? Yeah.
We're trying to talk to him
Okay.
anyway.
You would go with Mike or Martha? Yeah. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming today. I will do that. Okay. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming. Oh, that was good. Thank you for coming. Okay.
Eddie, I'm in Caulfield.
Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Well, thank you. That's all right.
It's like a 5 children.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay, great. Say hello to him. Thank you for coming.
I am all the best.
Thank you very much.
Man, oh man, I just
Well, I'm on my way
right for
back
me.
south.
Down strong.
Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Great. Great to see you. Very well. Thanks for coming. It's good to see you. Okay. Thank you. Nice shirt. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Frank. I appreciate that. Thanks for having the job. Yes, sir.
Hi. Well, you don't quite look like your picture.
Oh, yeah? You're getting older. Getting
But
older.
I'll tell you, the Democrat one never came near me once. I don't have a email so I need something other than that. The other one said something about boxes. Then he said, go to my website.
I'm so glad you could come here today. Go to the library. We have free computers.
I
Good to see you.
don't know how to even do one.
Just ask a young kid.
Hi, Peter. Nice to see you. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Woodstock, Vermont. I'm sure.
Make sure it's not something wrong. There's too many cameras.
Brian, Dick Philbin, preaching for wife Jenny.
We're just voters.
Quite like that, but
Our daughters.
this don't do him justice. But I'm,
Chris Malone.
you know what I mean.
I love that picture though.
Yeah, but I mean, I just